You can start.
Yeah. Good morning, friends. Good afternoon, good evening, good night. We all know the International Internship University is the leading virtual education system and global brand confederation, which is most valuable and trusted worldwide and well reputed in delivering innovative programs. Globally, it is trusted name for a quality training programs and is committed to providing better and virtual education to all the young learners of the globe. We would like to understand a good, versatile exponential format that in a short span of time, IIU has spread its wing in 195 countries and 6 continents under the strong leadership of its visionary founder, Mr. Piyush Pandit sir, committed and inspiring social activist, a passionate educationist from the last 2 decades, providing education programs. The introduction of IIU had begun before our PPT starts. So the topic which have been, shortlisted by the IIU, and I'm privileged to IIU for sharing such a beautiful platform, my knowledge sharing session called uh, Allow Your Fear to Guide You. So shall we start? Thank you so much. So this is Allow Your Fear to Guide You. Fear and courage are both the sides of the coin. However, you would like to understand about one thing. Panic is a temporary fear. There is really a fear. It has got long-term spell or a duration. So we'll be going with the video. Let us see the video. Now, prior we go with the video, there is one definition. So we would love to understand this definition. The definition is, one is forget everything and run. That this doesn't mean that you run behind the fear. No, leave the fear aside and run. That means you keep on going or face everything and rise. Now it is your decision, friends, that what you will choose, the first phrase or the second phrase. Would appreciate to mention the chat box that face everything and rise or forget everything and run. Would love to know from you people, whosoever are the audience inside, within the room of Facebook. It will be a learning sort of. Armi, guide me for how to start this, volume. Are you able to, is it audible?
Uh, when you share there, you have view option and you have share sound.
Audio settings I should go?
Yes, you can.
Uh, no, but I'm not able to. was one click, you know, we have to go with the sound click, right?
Yes, yes.
Is it a speaker Realtek high definition audio?
No, but if not work, you can talk. Here is not a problem.
Sorry?
If not work, you can talk about this. If not work, the sound.
Can you help me out? I can. Is it audible? I would just understand.
No, no, it's not.
So how to go with? It is a mute. It is a mic button. Same as system. Is it audible?
No.
Leave computer audio, or what do you say?
When you share there, you have an option, but you go further. We are in the session. You can talk.
Share screen. Share all windows for application.
No, no. Share sound.
Share automatically share desktop. Show all sharing options.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Let us see now. Come on. Is it audible?
No.
So this is, I think I'm confused somewhere. Is it microphone Realtek high definition? Select a speaker, speaker Realtek.
No, it's not from there. Maybe you can go further. Let's not lose the time to hear your.
Sorry.
You can go further.
Is it audible now?
No, it's not. It's not.
Anyway, let us have 2 minutes extra. Is it test speaker and microphone?
No.
See, there are, I'll speak. Select a microphone, then select a speaker, then test speaker and microphone, switch phone
No,
audio.
it's not from there. It's not from there.
Audio settings?
No, no.
No. Then how shall we, I had learned last time, but unfortunately,
Please go further and send me the video on WhatsApp and I will share it. Okay?
sorry?
Please go further with the session and send me the video on WhatsApp.
Because this is very important. A small background music is there. These are all the factors, lack of love, insecurity, stress, and loneliness. They make the person, under a fear. So we lose our spark. But if we need somebody's help, see, both enlighten. So we need to be kind and helping someone in terms of fear or a panic. Here is a very good, an example of empathy. It works. You have to show empathy to a person who is already in the fear. So we'll be continuing with fear, common types of fear, overcoming fear, conclusion, references and questions. Is fear holding you back? It is an individual one-to-one. One has to understand how this fear holds back someone from his day-to-day routines as well. Or, resisting him, someone, or resisting a human not to proceed with the other. Who fear most? Fear can stop us from doing something. It can also make us do something. So the direction which you are going for, say, for example, you want to turn left, but fear will ask you to turn right. Fear turns positive thoughts into negative thoughts. I'll give you a beautiful example. Supposedly you've got you've got an examinations, and the examination hall or examination center is almost, 40, 50 minutes away from your location. And this particular route, you need to travel by public transport, that is a bus. Now, once you are reaching at the bus stop, so one missing the bus, your panic and fear starts simultaneously. Don't know when another bus will be there. Should we start searching, or either a taxis or auto rickshaws or whatever the nearest transport which goes. But herein, again, one fear is into fear. This particular aspect of other transport, that is, hiring a cab or a taxi, is out of your budget. So this fear multiplies. But once you see any bus coming or approaching your bus stop, you'll be loving that bus. But unfortunately, if that bus is also not going to the destination, again, you are into a fear or a panic. So fear turns positive energy into negative energy. Your energy is lost. Now, once you reach an examination, maybe 15 minutes or 40 minutes or 20 minutes late, can you imagine your situation during the examination? Difficult to ascertain and inculcate. How's it? So fear can warn you to take care. As for example, the feeling when you are out alone at night in a place you don't know. This is something crucial. The reason is all alone around say 2 o'clock in the midnight is going to create a fear because dogs may bark. Some drunkard may come and hit you. Lot many factors are there, but however, we have to be within our emotional control. So fear can be the niggles in your stomach before an interview. Sometimes this is the bullet for the interview. You are facing an interview. However, it will be difficult for you to, attend the interview because you are fearing that I don't know what questions or what interaction is going to happen tomorrow. So fear can make you physically sick also. So fear of heights or spiders. Even some of the females, they have got a fear of lizard in the kitchen or in any of the bedroom or a drawing room. Fear can talk you out of things. Negative self-talks comes from a fear of failure. Friends, Forget. As I told you, fear is the second side of the coin is the courage. Sometimes you're mentally very strong, but physically very weak, or sometimes both, weak in mental and weak in physical. However, strong in physical and strong in mental. This strength of the mental fitness is nothing but a courage. This is an example we are quoting. I'm not good enough. I don't have enough experience, etc. So this is again a a sort of a bullet mentioning about an interaction during the interview. I can't go and ask her out. She might think I am a dog. So once you're not good enough, you feel that I'm not self-capable or I do not have those capabilities. You feel you are under the competition. Fear is an emotional induced by a perceived threat, which causes entities to quickly pull far away from it and usually hide. We can also feel fear when faced with less dangerous situations like exams, public speaking, a new job, a date, or even a party. It is a natural response to something that a person feels is a threat. Again, threat is, but it causes a fear. So ultimately, what happens is its symptoms are when you feel frightened or seriously anxious, your mind and body speed up. Some of the things might happen are heartbeat gets very fast, maybe it feels irregular. Breathing gets very fast. Muscles feel weak, sweat more. Even in the very cold season, in the degree of 2 degrees or 3 degrees temperature, you are sweating. This is nothing but a fear. Stomach is churning or your bowels feel loose. Yes. You feel some, very unusual effects within the intestine or a stomach or within the body. Hard to concentrate on anything difficult. Once you are under a favor of a fear, what happens is you want to do something X, but you'll focus Y. Even sometimes you feel dizzy, that is sleepy or nappy. You feel frozen to the spot. As I mentioned, within a very cold weather, you feel sweating. But however, you get more frozen also. Your appetite will be lost. As I mentioned again, hot and cold sweats. Your saliva, your mouth is without saliva, that is dry. Your muscles get tense. All these happens because your body is preparing you to respond to an emergency. Emergencies sometimes temporary, sometimes permanent. It increases the blood flow to the muscles, increases your blood sugar, and focuses your mind on things that's scanning you. Now look, create these all factors, they do nothing but create a sort of depression or a frustration. So common type of fear. According to surveys, some of the most common fears are of demons and ghosts, the existence of evil power, cockroaches, as I mentioned earlier, spiders also I mentioned, lizards, snakes, heights, water. Some people are, afraid of going for the swimming. Oh, I'll drown myself. No, 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 no. You have to take a risk and you have to start swimming. Once you start jumping into the sea, you start, moving your hands and legs. The reason is you want to overcome the fear of water, enclosed spaces. Even supposedly you are having a two-wheeler and a tunnel is almost 2 kilometers long. for it is difficult for you to inculcate that when I'll be coming out of the darkness, bridges, needles. When any medical practitioner have got, they have to give the stitches, especially on the eyes and the eyebrows, which are very sensitive, sensational areas. You'll feel in the fear. Obviously, this is one of the major social rejection. But your social rejection is nothing but your own thoughts and own character, own behavior. Even in sometimes when you are flying at a very good heights, people have the vomiting, panic for the vomiting sensations, failures, examinations in public speaking, even stage fear is one of the dangerous fear rather than the fear of a death. As a trainer, we are make learn that you need to, resist the stage fear. The reason is this fear is more dangerous than the fear of a death. But we'll be looking at more common fears. So, fear of death. Psychologists have added that the hypothesis that fear of death motivates religious commitment. Yes. At least in Hinduism, what we see, I think we have seen in all the communities and all the religions that whenever you are, something either depressed or having a fear or having a panic, come out some, dangerous situation, you first go to the temple or a church or a masjid, just pray God to help you out to come out of this situation. And that it may be elevated by assurance about an afterlife. It is well-known truth that we all in the end will kick the bucket. But that doesn't mean we have a death as our worst everyday worry, because we avoid the thoughts of it as a near future occurrence in our lives. I mentioned there's a live case study of a Jan 2023, Jyoti. She's a lady with major illnesses within. She's 50 plus, not that elderly. But her liver is damaged, her kidney thyroid, and she's obese. Once upon a while, she was being admitted in a hospital. Unfortunately, after discharge from the hospital, on the very night, 2 o'clock, she woke up her daughter and she called up the nearest relatives and nears and dears that she wanted to, beautify herself. Asked every daughter to put up the entire gold, whatever she has, put up a new sari or put up a new dress or new outfit, make up herself. She wanted to, be in a joyous mood, but however, she was fearing of a death. She was oftenly telling, I don't know how much I'm going to live. Make me beautiful. Give me all the, jewelry and everything, good outfits. But I'm going to die within the next 2 hours or 3 hours. What I'm looking at. But this is a fear of death. This is a real case study. Again, I will narrate a case study of a priest. I think in 1950s, there was a priest in UK or Europe who has declared that in 1985, entire world is going to submerge and entire world is going to be, having an uncertain followers, devotees he was discussing. Whatever the properties you have, you give me in your name, because you are going to die in 85, nothing is going to remain with you all. So when everybody surrendered their properties and done everything, but when in the year 1985, people who were alive and who had already, surrendered their, entire properties, jewelry, cash component, everything, and they were surviving, they caught hold of him. You give us something else in 1985. But this priest has nothing done, but it is played a mischief. This is all the realistic part of the game. So fear of death is tightly tied to the fear of the unknown. This was unknown because he is predicting, the priest is predicting. So we have to be very careful. Here is the one, fear of unknown. Fear of unknown means supposedly somebody is knocking a door and I'm all alone in a home. I'll have a panic. Oh, who's untimely arrived at my home? It is a thought process, and it is a true thought process. So in Hindi it is very well mentioned, जरा सी आहट होती है तो दिल सोचता है कहीं ये वो तो नहीं. Supposedly there's a girl inside the home and his boyfriend is coming to meet him, but it is untimely meet or untimely attending her. Timings for this girl makes her fear or a panic that who must have come? I think he must have come. But she has to be very sure because this time is not proper for this boyfriend to come to her to meet her. So we'll be looking at a video again, which is an examination, but here we need to understand the confidence of a fear, and actually this needs audio, Armina, but however, I don't know whether we'll be able to play the audio. Difficult. So let us start anyway. So this was nothing but a losing of a freedom, because he was in the examination hall. You saw the fear with him because he was not knowing anything. Again, he was confused when it was being declared that there's a white paper also. So he's searching white paper, but he wanted to copy. So he has, very well, in a very jolly mood or in a, enthusiastic mood, he has disturbed the fellow member who is on the same bench. So this was a learning. Now, there is a losing of freedom means supposedly marriage, relationship, commitment, and other responsibilities. Nowadays, this generation is quite mature, however, able to understand the bride and the groom. Now everything is, on the social media, Facebook, WhatsApp, Instagram. Lot many social media platforms available. So they come closer. So they know each other. Once they know each other, they feel there's no fear with them. But however, once they get married, and which was not being disclosed earlier during the betrothal times or betrothal spell, and this is being disclosed after marriage, it creates a fear and it creates a havoc. There was a very live example that once a groom selected or had a shortlisted a bride. At that point of time, both were in restaurant. They had a nice time of having a high tea or snacks or something. This was a final touch up. I mean, final touch up means this was the final meeting to say yes or no. Now, this at that point of time, this lady did not have spectacles. Once she got married, and once a while, the groom saw in the bathroom that she was putting up, these eye, what do you call these? Forgot. Eye shells within the eyeglasses, contact lens, I should say, yeah, contact lens. And this gentleman was, annoyed. Then when we met during a betrothal spell and final meeting, you didn't disclose that you are wearing the contact lenses. So here in marriage relationship, this is a live case study again. So he called up his nears and dear and had a meeting with them that this lady has cheated me. She had a contact lenses and she has not disclosed that she is having any eyesight problem. However, matured nears and dears asked them, this is a normal routine now. I think in my father's day or in our grandparents' days, spectacles very, very less. Even I'll tell you, my grandfather who was 84, he did not used to wear the spectacles. Even today in India, we have got one acupressurist who is 95 years of age. He is driving very nicely and he don't have any spectacles or any contact lenses. This is realistic, I'm talking. So sometimes this is a break in the relationship, or you can say a pause in the relationship because of some small issues only. Because people don't give deep thought. It is mentioned that deep thought and wonder at what would happen if we were to lose the power to control our own lives. This is nothing but nothing doing with the life. However, sometimes the people are very conservative. So people feel that they could have disclosed this X, Y, Z. However, the bright side also, if you look at, they may forget or they may ignore that this This is not the major task that we should disclose this to the groom and all. Disappointment is one of the major factor, It is difficult to avoid unknown. And this creates a feeling of dissatisfaction. And this do not match when what actually happened. This is today's major issue with the young generation, because young generation has lost the tolerance level. The level of understanding is very high, but the tolerance or adjusting with some situations, this is very rare in this generation. Failure, again, failure is nothing but a major parameter to create a fear. Despite your efforts, if you fail, then you blame God ultimately. God is something different. He did not help me out. I put my best efforts. But however, situational fear causes different feeling. And this is temporary. Equally, loneliness. Supposedly a couple get divorced and they don't have any social commitments or social relations with other people. They feel loneliness and the fear starts. And they feel it's difficult to survive. And if you live in the group or in a society or a community, you exchange your thoughts, emotionally, and hence you are able to survive. Because you don't feel lonely within the group or within the community or within the society. This is also today's major challenge. There is a segment of generation who wants to remain lonely alone. I don't know about the Western, but in Indian customary today, people do not want to marry. They want to remain single, but they have to have a relationship with someone. But that relation is not a permanent relation. That relation is going to be a temporary relation. And once any untrustworthiness comes up in this temporary relation, this creates a loneliness, and this loneliness is again a part of a fear. This is also one of the case study which I've learned from one of the medical practitioner, because in the females between the age of 41 to 45 or something, they have got hormonal imbalance. Because of this hormonal imbalance, fear starts. There was one lady who used to, very, very well versed in the family, very well versed in the society, in the community. However, when this age came, 42 to 43, she asked the husband that you will be preparing a cup of tea, I'll not prepare. You make me the teeth brush. I'm not going to sit in the garden. Somebody's going to click my photos. At that point of time, we had a landline phone call. These handsets. She asked her husband that put this landline without, it is a mute, you can say. Leave the receiver aside. Nothing to bother. So this hormonal imbalance also specifically occurs with the female, as I mentioned. But this particular, it heals within. So there are certain cases in medico, they have to approach to the medical experts. So even a time comes for some female, they have to approach to the psychiatrist for the recovery or for the having the proper medication. But this is an age bar, 41 to 45. This is my learning, if I'm correct. So how you'll allow the fear to guide you? Fear in you is indicating that you are doing something great. First, recognize it. Very well said. Know that it is keeping you alive and alert. Second, face it. That is, you have to improve your courage, the strength. Use it as a compass of action for action. Allow it to get navigate your life. Fear should navigate your life. Whatever is your fear, it is most likely and exactly what you should be doing. Dealing with your fears, you should go for the laughing clubs and laughing exercise. Laughing is the best medicine, even the medical science says. Celebrate your victories, past achievements, because celebrations, motivates you. It is a self-motivational, kind of a situation. You set a goal which will help you to be in the present now, and equally it will ask you to further move in the future. And it is do it now action. Spirituality. We mentioned earlier, people go to the temple, mosque, churches, and masjid. The reason is once you are in the fear, but this overcomes your fear. Because chanting the name of God, chanting the name of Almighty, keeping you away from the fear and attaching you towards the path of religion, that is towards a God. Face your fear if you can. As you said, you need to be courageous again. Know yourself. Try to learn more about your fear or anxiety. Keep record. Record is not required, but medical sciences mentions that in case you are in a fiery situation, you should maintain the journals. That what happened during the daytime. It is all 24 hours journal. When it happens and what happens, it is mentioned here. And equally, you relax. You go for a yoga. You go for a walk. You go for a outstation. You go for a hill station. You go for a changeover. Exercise properly. This can trigger brain chemical that improve your mood. So to be out of the fear, you have to change the mood. So nothing led to fear. You have to be bold enough and courageous enough to face the fear. So next level of understanding will be, you all tell me, it will be nothing but allow the courage to guide you. Thank you so much for listening me patiently and motivating me. IIU once again, thank you all. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.